It was a Saturday evening, and the air was filled with nostalgia as we celebrated our eldest son's birthday with an 80s-themed party. Neon lights danced across the room, and the beat of retro music pulsed through the air. My wife Alice and I were enjoying the festivities, surrounded by friends and family. As I glanced around the room, my attention was suddenly drawn to Alice. There she was, lost in the music, dancing with Jacob, our new neighbor from down the street. Something about the way they moved together, sharing smiles and laughter, sent a pang of unease through me. Jacob and his wife Lauren had only become part of our lives a few months ago, but already it was clear that Alice and he shared a bond, particularly when it came to their mutual love of art and music. Alice had always been a talented musician, but since our wedding, she had put her dreams on hold to focus on our family and her career. Seeing her so alive and vibrant with Jacob made me question whether I had been neglecting her passions, whether something was missing in our marriage that she had found in him. Over the next few weeks, my suspicions only grew as Alice started spending more and more time away from home, claiming she was seeking inspiration for a new musical composition. Yet there was a distance in her eyes, a secretiveness that left me feeling like an outsider in my marriage. I tried to push away my doubts, to convince myself that it was all in my head, but then I stumbled upon their conversations on social media. Words dripping with affection and intimacy that could not be mistaken for mere friendship. Despite my heartache, I resolved to keep their budding relationship a secret, hoping against hope that it was all a misunderstanding and that Alice had simply found a good friend in Jacob. But as she continued to pull away from me, her gaze filled with determination, I knew deep down that our marriage was teetering on the edge of a precipice. As the days passed, I found myself torn between anger, hurt, and resignation. I knew I couldn't keep burying my head in the sand, pretending that everything was fine. It was time to confront Alice, to lay bare the truth of what I had seen and felt, and to face whatever consequences lay ahead. The days following the party blurred together in a haze of uncertainty and heartache. Every moment felt like an eternity as I grappled with the knowledge of Alice's growing connection with Jacob. Despite my inner turmoil, I maintained a facade of normalcy, going through the motions of daily life while the weight of my suspicions pressed down on me like a leaden sky. But behind closed doors, the tension between Alice and me crackled with unspoken words and unshed tears. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was losing her, that she was slipping through my fingers like sand. Each time she disappeared for hours on end, claiming to be lost in the melody of a new composition, I felt a pang of jealousy twist in my chest. But beneath the jealousy lay a deeper, more insidious fear, the fear of losing the woman I loved, the fear of confronting the truth of our crumbling marriage. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast long shadows across our living room, I found myself unable to hold back any longer. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, I confronted Alice about what I had seen at the party, about the messages I had stumbled upon, about the growing chasm between us. At first she denied everything, her eyes filled with hurt and betrayal. But as I pressed her for the truth, the dam burst and the floodgates of her emotions opened wide. Through tear-streaked cheeks and quivering lips, Alice confessed to her burgeoning feelings for Jacob, to the longing for something more than the life we had built together. She spoke of dreams deferred and desires unfulfilled, of the ache for passion and purpose that had lain dormant within her for so long. Her words pierced me like a knife, laying bare the cracks in our marriage that I had been too blind to see. At that moment, I realized that I had failed her, that I had become so consumed with my worries and responsibilities that I had neglected the one person who meant more to me than anything in the world. As the truth hung heavy in the air between us, I made a decision to let her go, to set her free to pursue the happiness she so desperately sought. For I knew deep down that love meant wanting the best for someone, even if it meant letting them go. With tearful eyes and a heavy heart, we held each other close, clinging to the fragments of a love that was slipping away. And in that bittersweet moment, I knew that our journey was far from over, that the road ahead would be fraught with uncertainty and pain. But amidst the darkness, there was a glimmer of hope, The hope that one day we would find our way back to each other, that we would rediscover the love that had once burned so bright. And as we parted ways that night, I whispered a silent prayer to the stars above, a prayer for healing and redemption, for a future filled with second chances and new beginnings. Yet, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the ache in my heart refused to subside. Every passing moment felt like a battle against the memories of what once was, against the haunting specter of what could have been. I threw myself into my work, burying my pain beneath a mountain of tasks and deadlines. But no matter how busy I kept myself, the emptiness inside me only grew deeper, echoing with the echoes of lost love and shattered dreams. In the quiet moments of the night when sleep eluded me and the world around me fell into hushed stillness, I found myself grappling with questions that had no easy answers. Did I do the right thing by letting Alice go? Could I have fought harder for our marriage, for the love that had once bound us together? But in the depths of my despair, a glimmer of hope flickered to life, the hope that perhaps in letting go, I had opened the door to a new beginning, to a future filled with endless possibilities. And so I resolved to pick up the pieces of my shattered heart and move forward, one painful step at a time. As the seasons changed and the world around me transformed, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery, seeking solace in the embrace of old passions and new experiences. I surrounded myself with friends and loved ones, drawing strength from their unwavering support and encouragement. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the wounds of the past began to heal, leaving behind scars that served as a reminder of the trials I had overcome. With each passing day, I grew stronger, more resilient, and more determined to carve out a future that was uniquely my own. And though the road ahead was fraught with uncertainty and challenges of its own, I walked it with a newfound sense of purpose and hope, knowing that whatever lay beyond the horizon, I would face it with courage and grace. For in the depths of my darkest hour, I had discovered a truth that would shape the course of my life forever, that love in all its forms has the power to transform, to heal, and to set us free. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months as Alice and I navigated the aftermath of our emotional reckoning. The echoes of our tearful confession lingered in the air, a constant reminder of the fragile threads that bound us together. In the wake of our separation, I found myself adrift in a sea of uncertainty, grappling with the reality of a life without Alice by my side. Every corner of our home seemed haunted by memories of her laughter and her warmth, a ghostly reminder of the love we had lost. But amidst the pain and the heartache, there was a glimmer of hope, a hope born from the realization that our separation was not the end, but merely a new beginning. For in letting Alice go, I had set in motion a chain of events that would ultimately lead us both to a place of healing and renewal. As the days passed, I threw myself into my work, seeking solace in the familiar rhythms of routine. Yet, no matter how busy I kept myself, I could not shake the gnawing ache in my heart, the longing for a love that had slipped through my fingers like sand. Meanwhile, Alice embarked on a journey of self-discovery, immersing herself in her passion for music and art. Freed from the constraints of our marriage, she blossomed like a flower in the springtime, her spirit soaring on wings of newfound freedom and possibility. Yet for all the joy she found in her newfound independence, there was a part of her that remained tethered to the past. A part of her that still longed for the love we had shared, for the comfort of familiar arms and whispered promises. And so, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Alice and I found ourselves standing at a crossroads, faced with a choice that would shape the course of our lives forever. For me, it was a choice between holding on to the past and embracing the future, between clinging to the fragments of a love that had long since faded and opening my heart to the possibility of new beginnings. For Alice, it was a choice between following the path of least resistance and forging a new path of her own, between settling for a life of quiet desperation and daring to dream of a love that was wild and untamed. In the end, we both chose the road less traveled, the road that led us back to each other. And as we stood hand in hand gazing into the unknown horizon, I knew that no matter what lay ahead, we would face it together. bound by a love that was stronger than time itself. Yet, as we embarked on this new chapter of our lives, the journey ahead was not without its challenges. Old wounds resurfaced, testing the strength of our resolve and the depth of our commitment to each other. But with each obstacle we overcame, our bond grew stronger, our love more resilient. We learned to communicate openly and honestly, to confront our fears and insecurities with courage and grace. And as we embraced the imperfections that made us who we were, we discovered a deeper, more profound love. A love that transcended the boundaries of time and space. A love that would carry us through the darkest of nights and the stormiest of seas. Together, we forged a new path, one filled with laughter and tears, triumphs and setbacks. And though the road ahead was uncertain, we walked it hand in hand, secure in the knowledge that as long as we had each other, we could weather any storm and overcome any obstacle. For love, we discovered, was not a destination, but a journey that we embarked on together, united in heart and soul, bound by a love that would stand the test of time. And as we looked towards the horizon, we knew that our greatest adventure was yet to come, as the days passed and the wounds of our separation began to heal. Alice and I found ourselves tentatively navigating the delicate dance of reconciliation. With each passing moment, the space between us seemed to shrink, replaced by a newfound sense of closeness and understanding. We spent hours talking about our hopes and dreams, our fears and insecurities, the scars of our past, and the promise of our future. And with each word spoken, the walls that had once divided us crumbled away, leaving only the raw, unfiltered truth of our hearts laid bare. It was not easy. There were moments of doubt and uncertainty, of old wounds reopened and painful memories relived. Yet through it all, we clung to each other with a fierceness born of newfound resilience, determined to rebuild what had been broken and forge a love that was stronger than ever before. Slowly but surely, we began to rediscover the magic that had drawn us together in the first place, the laughter that bubbled up from deep within our souls, the shared moments of joy and sorrow that bound us together as one. And as we basked in the warmth of each other's embrace, I realized that our journey was far from over, that the road ahead would be filled with twists and turns, triumphs and tribulations, but that as long as we faced it together, we could weather any storm that came our way. For in the end, it was not the destination that mattered, but the journey itself, the journey of two souls bound together by a love that was as timeless as the stars above, as enduring as the very fabric of the universe. And so, hand in hand, heart in heart, we embarked on the greatest adventure of all, the adventure of love, redemption, and second chances. As we stepped into the unknown, I knew with every fiber of my being that no matter what lay ahead, as long as I had Alice by my side, I could conquer anything that life threw my way. As we ventured further into the realm of reconciliation, we encountered moments of vulnerability and strength, of laughter and tears. Each day brought new revelations and deeper connections, weaving the fabric of our bond tighter than ever before. Together, we explored the depths of forgiveness and understanding, embracing our flaws and imperfections with a newfound sense of acceptance and grace. And with each passing moment, our love grew stronger, more resilient, more unbreakable. But amidst the joy of our reconciliation, there were moments of doubt and fear, echoes of the past that threatened to derail our progress and plunge us back into the darkness we had fought so hard to escape. Yet, with unwavering determination and unwavering faith in each other, we pushed forward, refusing to let the shadows of our past dictate the course of our future. We had learned that true love was not without its challenges, but it was in overcoming those challenges that its true power lay. And so, as we stood on the precipice of a new beginning, I looked into Alice's eyes and saw the reflection of my soul. A soul that had been tested and tried, but had emerged stronger and more resilient than ever before. And as we embraced each other with a love that knew no bounds, I knew that our journey was far from over, that as long as we had each other, we could conquer anything that life threw our way, together, as one. As the seasons changed and time marched on, Alice and I embarked on a journey of rediscovery, a journey that would take us to the farthest reaches of our hearts and souls. With each passing day, our love deepened and matured, like fine wine aging gracefully with time. We learned to cherish the simple moments, a shared cup of coffee in the morning, a quiet walk hand in hand beneath the stars, as much as the grand adventures that awaited us on the horizon. Together, we explored new horizons, both literal and metaphorical, as we traveled to far-off lands and dared to dream of a future filled with endless possibilities. But amidst the excitement of our newfound adventures, there were moments of doubt and uncertainty, echoes of the past that lingered in the shadows, threatening to pull us back into the darkness from which we had emerged. Yet with each obstacle we faced, we emerged stronger and more resilient than before, our love serving as a beacon of hope in the darkest of nights. As we stood on the threshold of a new chapter in our lives, I knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, as long as we faced them together, we would emerge victorious. Our love shining bright like a guiding star in the vast expanse of the universe. For in the end, it was not the destination that mattered, but the journey itself, the journey of two souls intertwined for eternity, bound by a love that knew no bounds and a passion that burned brighter than the sun. And so, hand in hand, heart in heart, we stepped boldly into the future, ready to embrace whatever adventures lay in store, knowing that as long as we had each other, we could conquer the world and everything in it. As we ventured further into the unknown, we discovered new depths to our love, depths that we never knew existed, depths that filled our hearts with wonder and awe. Each day brought with it new revelations and new challenges, but through it all we remained steadfast in our commitment to each other. Together we laughed and cried, dreamed and dared, building a life that was uniquely our own. And as we faced the trials and tribulations of life hand in hand, I knew that our love was unbreakable, our bond unshakable. For we had weathered the storms of the past and emerged stronger and more resilient than ever before. And as we looked towards the horizon, I knew that the best was yet to come, that our journey together was just beginning, filled with infinite possibilities and endless adventures. And so, with hearts full of hope and eyes full of wonder, we embraced the future with open arms, ready to write the next chapter of our love story, a chapter filled with love, laughter, and the promise of forever. As the years passed, Alice and I found ourselves reflecting on the journey that had brought us to where we were. A journey filled with highs and lows, triumphs and tribulations, but above all, a journey defined by the enduring strength of our love. Together, we looked back on the moments that had shaped us, the joy of our reconciliation, the thrill of our adventures, the quiet moments of contentment that had woven the tapestry of our lives together. But amidst the memories, there were also moments of sadness. The pain of past mistakes, the wounds that had yet to fully heal, the lingering doubts that whispered in the depths of our hearts. Yet, through it all, there was a sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the love that had sustained us, the lessons that had shaped us, the bond that had grown stronger with each passing day. And as we gazed into the future, we knew that our journey was far from over, that there would be new challenges to face, new obstacles to overcome, but that as long as we faced them together, we could weather any storm that came our way. For in the end, it was not the destination that mattered, but the journey itself, the journey of two souls bound together by a love that had stood the test of time, a love that would endure for all eternity. And so, hand in hand, heart in heart, we embraced the unknown with open arms, ready to write the next chapter of our story, a story filled with hope, with passion, with the boundless promise of a love that knew no bounds. As we delved deeper into our reflections, we found ourselves uncovering hidden treasures of wisdom and insight. Each memory held within it a lesson, each experience a revelation, guiding us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and each other. Together, we revisited the moments that had tested our resolve, the arguments that had threatened to tear us apart, the challenges that had seemed insurmountable at the time. And yet, in the face of adversity, our love had only grown stronger, our bond more unbreakable. We celebrated the milestones we had achieved, The anniversaries, the milestones, the moments of triumph that had marked our journey together. And as we looked back on how far we had come, we marveled at the resilience of the human spirit, the capacity for love to conquer all. But amidst the reflections, there was also a sense of humility, a recognition of our imperfections, our shortcomings. And yet, it was in embracing our flaws that we found strength. In acknowledging our weaknesses, we found courage. And so, as we continued to reflect on the tapestry of our lives, we did so with hearts full of gratitude and minds open to the possibilities that lay ahead. For we knew that no matter what the future held, as long as we had each other, we would always find our way back home. As the years rolled by, Alice and I found ourselves at a crossroads once again. But this time, it was a crossroads of a different kind, a crossroads of fulfillment and contentment, of peace and serenity. Together, we had weathered the storms of life, emerging stronger and more resilient than ever before. We had built a life filled with love and laughter, with shared dreams and shared memories that would last a lifetime. But amidst the hustle and bustle of everyday life, there was a yearning for something more. Something that would bring us full circle to the place where it had all begun. And so, with a sense of anticipation and excitement, we embarked on a journey back to the beginning, back to the place where our love had first taken root, back to the place where our story had begun. As we retraced our steps, we were filled with a sense of nostalgia for the days of youth and innocence, for the dreams that had once seemed so far out of reach but had now become a reality. And as we stood once again beneath the stars that had witnessed our love blossom and grow, we knew that we had come full circle, that our journey had led us back to where we belonged, back to each other. For in the end, it was not the destination that mattered, but the journey itself, the journey of two souls bound together by a love that had transcended time and space, a love that had come full circle to find its home in the hearts of two people who would never stop believing in the power of love. But as we stood on the threshold of our past, we realized that it was not just a journey back in time, but a journey of rediscovery, a journey to reconnect with the essence of who we were and who we had become. As we revisited the places that had once been the backdrop to our love story, we saw them with fresh eyes that had been shaped by the passage of time, by the trials and tribulations we had faced together. And in the quiet moments of reflection, we realized that our journey had not just brought us full circle, but had also taken us to new heights, to a deeper understanding of ourselves and each other, to a love that was richer and more profound than we could have ever imagined. For it was in the journey itself that we had found the true meaning of love, a love that was not just a destination but a journey of endless discovery and boundless joy. And as we stood hand in hand, heart in heart, beneath the same stars that had witnessed our love story unfold, we knew that our journey was far from over, that as long as we had each other, we would continue to explore the depths of our love, to discover new horizons together, and to come full circle time and time again. As we entered the twilight years of our lives, Alice and I found ourselves reflecting on the legacy we had built, a legacy of love, resilience, of unwavering devotion to each other and to the life we had created together. Our days were filled with simple pleasures, the warmth of the sun on our faces, the laughter of grandchildren playing in the yard, and the quiet moments of reflection as we watched the world go by from the comfort of our porch swing. But amidst the tranquility of our golden years, there was also a sense of urgency, an urgency to pass on the wisdom of a lifetime, to impart the lessons we had learned to future generations, so that they too could experience the joy and fulfillment that came from a life lived with purpose and passion. And so we set about sharing our story, the story of two people who had dared to love against all odds, who had weathered the storms of life together and emerged stronger for it. We spoke of the trials and tribulations we had faced, of the sacrifices we had made, of the moments of triumph and despair that had shaped us into the people we had become. But above all, we spoke of love, a love that had stood the test of time, a love that had endured through the darkest of days and the brightest of nights, a love that had been the cornerstone of our lives for as long as we could remember. And as we shared our story with those who would come after us, we knew that our legacy would live on. Not just in the words we spoke or the memories we shared, but in the hearts and minds of those who had been touched by the love that had sustained us through it all. For in the end, it was not the material possessions or worldly accomplishments that mattered, but the love we shared. A love that would live on long after we were gone. A love that would continue to inspire and uplift those who came after us. A love that would be our greatest legacy of all. As we reflected on our journey, we realized that our legacy extended far beyond our own family. It encompassed the lives of all those we had touched along the way, the strangers whose paths we had crossed, the friends we had made, the communities we had been a part of. As we looked back on the impact we had made, we were humbled by the realization that even the smallest acts of kindness could leave a lasting impression on the world around us. It was a legacy of compassion, of empathy, of reaching out a hand to those in need and lifting them with love and understanding. And as we passed the torch to the next generation, we did so with the hope that they too would carry on this legacy of love and kindness, spreading light and joy wherever they went. For in the end, that was the true measure of a life well lived, not in the riches we accumulated or the accolades we received, but in the love we shared and the legacy of kindness we left behind for others to follow. As the years stretched on, Alice's health began to decline, and we found ourselves facing the inevitable truth that our time together was drawing to a close. We had always known that our love was not bound by the constraints of time or space, but now, as we stood on the precipice of eternity, we found ourselves grappling with the reality of our mortality. Yet, amidst the pain and sadness, there was also a sense of peace, a peace that came from knowing that we had lived a life filled with love and laughter, a life that had been richer and more fulfilling than we could have ever imagined. As we held each other close in the twilight of our years, we found solace in the memories we had shared, the moments of joy and sorrow, of triumph and defeat, that had woven the tapestry of our lives together. And as we prepared to say our final goodbyes, we did so with hearts full of gratitude. Gratitude for the love that had sustained us, for the memories that would live on long after we were gone, for the legacy we had built together. For in the end, it was not the length of our lives that mattered, but the depth of our love, a love that had transcended time and space, a love that had bound us together for all eternity. And so, as we bid farewell to this world and embarked on the greatest adventure of all, we did so with the knowledge that our love would live on. In the hearts of those we had touched, in the memories we had shared, in the eternity of our souls entwined forevermore. In those final moments, as we whispered our goodbyes, there was a sense of peace that washed over us. We knew that although our time in this world was coming to an end, our love would endure, immortalized in the hearts of those we held dear. With tears glistening in our eyes, we exchanged one last embrace, holding on to each other, as if trying to freeze time itself. And in that moment, amidst the bittersweet sorrow of our farewell, there was also a profound sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the life we had lived, for the love we had shared, for the journey we had embarked on together. As we closed our eyes for the final time, we did so with hearts full of love and gratitude, knowing that even in death, our souls would remain forever intertwined, bound together by the unbreakable bonds of love. And as we embarked on our final journey into the unknown, we did so hand in hand, knowing that wherever the road may lead us, we would always be together, guided by the light of our eternal love. As Alice took her final breath, a sense of peace washed over me. It was a bittersweet moment, a moment of profound loss, but also a moment of profound beauty. For in that moment, I realized that our love was eternal, that it transcended the boundaries of this world and stretched into the infinite expanse of the universe. As I held her lifeless body in my arms, I felt her spirit surround me, wrapping me in a warm embrace that whispered of a love that would never die. And as I gazed into her lifeless eyes, I saw not the emptiness of death, but the eternal light of our love shining bright like a beacon in the darkness. For in the end, it was not the end that mattered, but the love we shared, a love that would live on long after our bodies had turned to dust. a love that would continue to guide us through the trials and tribulations of life and death. And so, as I said my final goodbye to the woman who had been my partner, my companion, my soulmate, I did so with a heart full of gratitude. Gratitude for the love we had shared, for the memories we had created, for the legacy we had left behind. For in the end, our love was not bound by the constraints of this world, but soared on wings of eternity, forever entwined in the fabric of the universe, a testament to the power of love to transcend even the greatest of tragedies. In the days that followed Alice's passing, I found solace in the memories we had shared, in the love that had sustained us through the darkest of days. I took comfort in knowing that although she was no longer by my side in the physical sense, her spirit lived on in every beat of my heart, in every breath I took. As I looked up at the stars that filled the night sky, I felt her presence all around me, a gentle reminder that love knows no bounds, that it transcends time and space, uniting us with our loved ones in ways that defy explanation. In the months and years that followed, I carried Alice's memory with me wherever I went, drawing strength from the love we had shared, finding hope in the knowledge that our souls would be reunited once more in the great beyond. And though the pain of her loss never truly faded, it was softened by the knowledge that our love was eternal, a flame that would burn bright for all eternity, lighting the way through even the darkest of nights. In the days that followed Alice's passing, I found solace in the memories we had shared, memories that spanned a lifetime, from the first moment our eyes met to the final breath she took in my arms. Each memory was a precious treasure, a reminder of the love that had sustained us through the darkest of days and the brightest of nights. Together we had laughed and cried, dreamed and dared, building a life filled with love and adventure, a life that had left an indelible mark on the world around us. And as I sat alone in our empty home surrounded by the echoes of the past, I felt her presence all around me. In the gentle breeze that rustled through the trees, in the soft glow of the evening sun, in the quiet stillness of the night. For even though she was no longer by my side, I knew that she would always be with me, in the memories we had shared, in the love that had bound us together, in the eternal light of our souls entwined forevermore. And so, as I closed my eyes and let the tears fall, I whispered a silent prayer to the heavens above, a prayer for peace and understanding, for strength and resilience, for the courage to carry on in the face of adversity. For in the end, it was not the end that mattered, but the love we shared, a love that would live on in the hearts of those who had been touched by its light, a love that would continue to guide us through the trials and tribulations of life and death, a love that would remain forever etched in the annals of time as a testament to the power of love to conquer even the greatest of tragedies. In the wake of Alice's passing, life took on a new rhythm, a rhythm defined by both grief and gratitude, by loss and love. As I navigated the days without her by my side, I found myself grappling with a profound sense of emptiness. An emptiness that echoed in the silence of our home, in the ache of my heart, in the absence of her laughter and her warmth. But amidst the darkness, there was also a glimmer of light, a light that shone bright in the memories we had shared, in the love that had sustained us through the darkest of days. And so, as I slowly began to pick up the pieces of my shattered heart, I made a vow to honor Alice's memory in everything I did, to live each day with purpose and passion, to cherish the moments I had been given, to love with all my heart and soul. For though she may have left this world, her spirit lived on in the love we had shared, in the legacy we had built together, in the eternal light of our souls entwined forevermore. And so, as I stood at the threshold of a new chapter in my life, I did so with a sense of hope and determination. Determined to carry on in her memory, to live each day to the fullest, to embrace the beauty and the wonder of life with open arms. For in the end it was not the end that mattered, but the journey itself, the journey of a lifetime filled with love and laughter, with joy and sorrow, with triumph and defeat. As I took the first tentative steps forward into the unknown, I knew that Alice would be with me every step of the way, guiding me, inspiring me, and filling my heart with the eternal light of her love. Amid grief, I found myself grappling with a profound sense of purposelessness. Without Alice by my side, life seemed empty and devoid of meaning. A vast expanse of time stretching out before me, filled with nothing but loneliness and longing. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, I began to realize that Alice's passing had not robbed me of purpose, but rather challenged me to find a new purpose, a purpose that honored her memory and celebrated the love we had shared. And so, I set out on a journey of self-discovery, a journey that would take me to the depths of my soul and beyond, in search of the purpose and passion that had eluded me for so long. Along the way, I rediscovered the things that had once brought me joy, the simple pleasures of life, the beauty of nature, the warmth of human connection. I immersed myself in meaningful work, volunteering my time and energy to causes that were close to my heart, finding solace in the knowledge that even the smallest acts of kindness could make a difference in the world. As I navigated the ups and downs of this new chapter in my life, I began to find a sense of fulfillment and contentment that I had thought was lost to me forever. For though Alice may have left this world, her spirit lived on in the love we had shared, in the memories we had created, in the legacy we had left behind. And so, as I moved forward into the unknown, I did so with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Determined to live each day with intention, to honor Alice's memory in everything I did, and to embrace the beauty and the wonder of life with open arms. For in the end, it was not the end that mattered, but the journey itself, the journey of self-discovery, of growth, of finding purpose and passion in the face of adversity. As I walked that path, I knew that Alice would be with me every step of the way, guiding me, inspiring me, and filling my heart with the eternal light of her love. In the wake of loss, I found myself drawn to others who shared in the pain of grief. Together we formed a community of healing hearts, a place where we could lean on each other for support, find solace in shared experiences, and begin the journey of healing. In this community, I discovered the transformative power of empathy and compassion, the ability to hold space for each other's pain, to offer a listening ear and a comforting shoulder to lean on. As we shared our stories and our struggles, I realized that grief was not something to be endured alone, but something to be shared and embraced as a natural part of the human experience. And so, as we walked this path of healing together, I found strength in the knowledge that I was not alone, that others understood the depths of my sorrow and stood ready to offer their love and support. Together we found moments of light amidst the darkness, moments of laughter and joy that served as reminders that even amid grief, there was still beauty and hope to be found. As we continued to journey forward, I knew that while the pain of loss would never truly fade, it would eventually become woven into the fabric of our lives, shaping us into stronger, more compassionate beings. For in the end, it was not the absence of pain that defined us, but the presence of love. Love that transcended time and space, love that bound us together as a community of healing hearts. Love that would ultimately guide us through the darkest of nights and into the light of a new day. As time passed and the wounds of grief began to heal, I found myself looking toward the future with a newfound sense of hope and optimism. Gone were the days of mourning and despair, replaced instead by a sense of possibility and excitement for what lay ahead. I began to embrace life with renewed vigor, seizing every opportunity that came my way and savoring each moment as if it were my last. No longer bound by the constraints of fear or regret, I allowed myself to dream once again, to dream of new adventures, new friendships, and new experiences that awaited me on the horizon. And as I stepped boldly into this new chapter of my life, I did so with a heart full of gratitude. Gratitude for the love that had sustained me through the darkest of days. Gratitude for the memories that had shaped me into the person I had become. Gratitude for the infinite possibilities that lay before me. In the end, it was not the past that defined me, but the future. A future filled with endless potential and boundless opportunities for growth and discovery. And so, as I set out on this new journey, I did so with a sense of excitement and anticipation, eager to embrace whatever the future had in store, knowing that as long as I held on to the lessons of the past and remained open to the possibilities of the present, the best was yet to come. As I stood on the threshold of a new beginning, I felt a sense of exhilaration coursing through my veins, a palpable excitement for the journey that lay ahead. Gone were the shadows of grief and sorrow that had clouded my days, replaced instead by the bright promise of a future filled with endless possibilities. With each step I took, I felt the weight of the past falling away, like shackles being loosened from my soul, allowing me to soar to new heights and explore new horizons. As I embraced this fresh start with open arms, I made a vow to myself, a vow to live each day with intention, to seize every opportunity that came my way, and to never let fear or doubt hold me back from chasing my dreams. For in the end, it was not the destination that mattered, but the journey itself, the journey of self-discovery, of growth, of embracing the beauty and the wonder of life with open arms. And so, as I embarked on this new chapter of my life, I did so with a heart full of hope and a spirit filled with determination, knowing that the best was yet to come, and that the future held infinite possibilities for those brave enough to seize them. As I delved deeper into my new beginning, I encountered challenges along the way, obstacles that tested my resolve and pushed me to the limits of my strength. Yet with each challenge came an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to rise above adversity and emerge stronger and more resilient than before. I faced setbacks and disappointments, moments of doubt and uncertainty that threatened to derail my progress. But through it all, I refused to lose sight of the vision I had for my future, a vision filled with purpose and passion, with love and fulfillment. And so, I navigated the twists and turns of this new chapter with courage and determination, knowing that with each hurdle overcome, I was one step closer to realizing my dreams. In the end, it was not the challenges themselves that defined me, but how I chose to face them, with grace, resilience, and an unwavering belief in the power of perseverance to overcome even the greatest of obstacles. As I continued on this journey of self-discovery and growth, I knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, I would face them head-on, armed with the knowledge that with every challenge overcome, I grew stronger and more capable of embracing the future that awaited me.